matches we've seen from these teams are fairly telling at where they are right now.
Setting expectations for Gen.G. Lotus, they absolutely dominated Heretics there in the grand final with Shanghai. Somewhere that they're going to feel comfortable going to. And as Sideshow said, this is just a breeze comp brought through, so although it's a different map, comfort level on that comp should be the same. Karon sitting around mid, very late in the game. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Texture to at least drop his one. Spams are good, and Heretics find the kill. Now that laneway, all that stands between the defuse and the round victory. Munchkin, though, manages to drop Woot, and they've already destroyed the wingman.
Yeah, post-plant lineups already coming in, making it incredibly difficult for anybody to get near that spike. We see Heretics do this exact same sort of post, just sitting back, holding, sending utility on towards that spike, and then just pre-firing this angle. Even still, though, they have managed to get it to half, but they need a little bit more, and that time is ticking too far gone.
On Meteor, how important it is for him to have his ult for entering in. Wrap, it's caught. Texture, will he make it back? Just about. He's safe for now. Boo, not so much though. Dropped after just the one. The spike dropped. They know it's on its way to B, and there's reinforcements coming through. MiniBoo's there to back them up, but they can't quite stop that plan.
They're going to know exactly where Meteor is. Nowhere else really been to stand. Karon's position has already been spotted, and a lot of low players now for the side of Gen.G. Bonus not exactly going to plan, and well, it seems like it's only going to get a little bit worse as we will see Texture.
Enough drop. Oh, there he goes.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, he was falling for quite a long time. This had been happening for a while, evidently, but he's having a good time at least. And of course, the last round flawless financially. Gen.G are going to be able to go back into this round
with a moneymaker in the last. There goes the ult, immediate TP, so he's nice and close, ready to take this. Already spotting the first. There's a lot of info now. They know there's 3 players here. The decoy is going to be used, sending them back alongside the recon. This is site control and a plant for Gen.G.
Yeah, this is all they want. Gets them into that post plant again. At least it will do. Slightly moved the plant, but it's still going to be a difficult place to fight from, especially with Meteor up close. That's going to get cleared out by the drone. That's something at least, and actually, he gets dropped, trying to maneuver himself back out of position. Utility being thrown in for Heretics, but they've still got 4 to find.
Okay, Texture already spotted, but he's going home! 3 already! Karon takes away the ace possibility, and again!
8-2. It's funny, last round he falls off the map, having a little bit of a laugh, and now he's the one laughing at absolutely everybody else. Just so clean, already looking a little bit scary.
Seems almost undeniable. One of the best teams in the world, we know, but it could be the Texture. Good for one, and the dash keeps him on the map. He's not falling this time, and it's MiniBoo who loses his life early on, trading out the death of Meteor. And look at the shift from Gen.G. They know the rotates have come in, and sure, the drone is going to see that no one has actually pushed through that gap, and the Texture's fallen back, but it's all about the position of Boo. He's able to catch Karon, confirming the rotation they suspected, and now slowing them down. The stars put to cover his retreat, and he's right back to middle. No need to take that fight
out. He's continued this push. His teammate's starting to come back, but the cam is going to give the game away. And now you're going to see Woot get back into position. Even still, a potential for a 1 versus 1, but with the time so desperately low, there was a moment for Boo. But they are going to be making their way on. A nice kill for Woot at least. 7 seconds, and there's the spam. That's a spike down. Round already over. He will have been heard. I think Boo was close enough. Has that information, but caught sleeping at the wheel. Now it's on to Woot to try and defend this. The flash was good, but the counter flash was even better.
He's just stuck in the corner. He can't even retreat for free, knowing there could be someone peeking from the box. He's trying to force the fight. Catch at least one as they fall back from these plant positions, but there's nothing to be found. Rooting himself around the edge, and there it is. The element of surprise against Texture. Nice ranged fight with Karon down. That's some of the utility at least removed, and an early snake bite will buy them a little bit of time. The thrash on its way, and it's caught Meteor. Only one man can defend him. Lakia is firing out the shock darts, delaying the defuse at least for a moment. Hunter's Fury now comes in to do the same. Fired off once, gets its mark. Second shot's good. Third will be a kill, but it's already half. They've got
to basically just keep someone in position, and but it's just the late round utility from Lakia. His post plant has been disgusting. Save the op. Maybe he can win them the round with it. And even if not, he has the Blade Storm for the next round. The bigger problem, though, is that Boo's going to be under serious pressure, and he has nothing to play with. He expects the TP and actually wins that initial fight. Done incredibly well to read the gap of where his opponent's going to be, and now pushing into this. Actually has risks about it. It gives 1v1s at close range. A singular headshot is enough. And Boo's given them a real chance in this round.
And gets the smoke up too. They win the fight through the wall. Munchkin and Lakia, the last two alive. And a late flank from Munchkin might just pay dividends. The reveal goes up and he's already spotted one, but MiniBoo.
Towards this side of the map, and well, unfortunately, he's going to be met with Meteor.
Well, actually, Meteor seems to be going towards the back of the site for now, just taking the control to dash in from Texture to meet him. They've got boots on the ground, and Team Heretics decide not to compete with this one. The decoy sent through, just ignored. Gen.G, oh, they have Texture going up close. I thought for a second he's going into that right corner, but the smoke's fading. He'll tuck away and play this post plant with the squad.
Immediate flash. Drone to follow. They're going to know where Texture is, but the rest of the team is still elusive for the rest. And even still getting past this double duelist could be tough. Texture combining Meteor with another. And although they've lost Munchkin, I don't think it's going to matter. Lakia doesn't quite connect. Benji's been given a small opportunity, but again, Texture is there. Much faster pace move here. It's going to be Benji completely caught off guard. Meteor's already managed to get that opener. RieNs is still trying to just hold on to some ground, but the A site almost completely lost.
Yeah, RieNs doesn't want to overcommit to this. He's heard a player come back up towards the top. They're ready for him. But another smoke goes down. The spam's favoring Meteor. He's lit Woot to a fraction of his HP, down to 10. Texture falls. They're conscious that Meteor could be coming on the flank. Woot looks away just as he rounds the corner. That's going to be a late flank potential. But look how far behind someone like Boo is. If they lose these players in the spawn, it could be over. Although MiniBoo's quick to correct. Keep it into a 3v3. Late flank by Boo, spotted. Known he has to win this fight to give them a chance to be able to pressure these players, but it's Lakia to come ahead. MiniBoo already on his third, hunting down the ace. It's been evading the...
It's going to be paramount.
Same TP we've seen before from Meteor. Uses the ult, gets up close. Last time, Heretics gave the site up completely. This time, that's not really an option with Boo so close, and the decoy distracts him just long enough. One more bullet could have done the job, and down she goes. Okay, Benji, able to eliminate Texture, keeps the numbers competitive, but Meteor's got a flash play, even on low health. He's not falling back, he won't be deterred, but the Hunter's Fury makes it more interesting.
3 still standing, but once more it's those post plants. Munchkin's even, well, we've seen this one before, sat there with an Odin in the backlines, just waiting to spam onto the spike. They've still got the snake bite available as well, and they can try and pull players away. Now they've cleared all of the close positions. MiniBoo maybe having that realization, but there goes up the orb, and now it's left all onto Munchkin, just trying his best to buy as much time as possible. It has already been half though, which could be a problem. MiniBoo needs Texture, and I don't know if they're going to be stopping anytime soon. Speaking of that, just look at MiniBoo, straight sprinting in towards the B side. It seems like both teams have a similar idea, but already it's going to be the, well, almost flood back in immediately. They don't even look like a retake. They're so fast to get back into the site.
Yeah. Munchkin swinging, but nobody can get ahead of Meteor. He's hunted down.
With how he's been playing, you can understand why he's feeling confident. Drones going up on the other side, and Munchkin again is already going to do serious damage on the entry to the site.
Oh, Meteor's being caught. I think he might have gate crashed in, but he certainly didn't gate crash out. Mosh Pit takes him down. They know Munchkin was up top as well. Decent bit of information to work with, and it's the fight onto MiniBoo that Heretics come out ahead with. Now a 4 versus 3. And one of those players left alive has the weaknesses. Thrash put through, no conversion on it, but Karon goes down. It was the aggression up top that got yet another advantage. Almost slipped away with benjyfishy, and it does in the end. But with Lakia down, a 1 versus 3 for Texture. A big round from this man. We've seen plenty of them. 8 bullets left and no HP. Similar setup to what Gen.G were going. A valuable opening duel for Gen.G. They don't have to get out of position to do it. There's no risks that can be punished, and the spam from Meteor is absolutely perfect, deleting MiniBoo on the right angle, and now the split here from Benji. 2 players through main, fighting Meteor, and still not able to drop him before he draws blood. Benji's the last man standing, 1 against 3. Spike dropped in the open, and at this point, they know where he is from the door breaking.
To isolate one. He'll get the first chance and actually manages to win that. Uncharacteristic from Texture. And now has the information of where both of these players are. Karon just waiting. Watching towards the spawn, but the time now gives the game away. It's not clean, but still Benji's getting the job done. Another kill under his belt. 25 seconds to play with, so doesn't need to go for the plant just yet. And you can see Munchkin slowly making his move. The cam is actually going to give it away. He now knows exactly where his opponent is. May be able to try and retrieve that spike, but is almost trying to bait in his opponent for the fight. Try and get him to peek this one, sticking it all the way, but that snake bite is going to slow him a little bit more. Munchkin. The rest of the players are just still going to try this dive in towards the B side. Hasn't been successful so far. Great flash, but even still the dart is better. Texture this time there with the opener. Karon does go down though. Again, we see these lurks from Boo, and this time it's successful.
They'd already planned on going back towards Boo. You know, he's felt that he had the space. He heard the steps as they backed off, the Astra Star on B, and he took it. But winning that fight was essential. Otherwise, this whole squad would be left in no man's land. Instead, they can capitalize on the space. Ult by Meteor to grab the info, and he sees them. Grabs back site control. They've already flooded back in through the choke point. Now they just have to fight on the sides, and the drop from Lakia, it buys enough space. The kills swinging either way, but with Boo on 20 HP, it's down to Munchkin again, but this time... Certainly pressure being put on A. This is going to be quite a quick play from the side of Heretics. Waiting out that grab. Well, Karon, he's still in the corner. He's got some support, but the flash has blinded him for a moment. Woot did so well with that. The Dizzy took the side away.
Saving the rifle, saving
right
the
call, for sure. Play the gamble. They'll push up on A, try to force the issue, adding in a bit of a curveball to this round.
Into it.
They have absolutely no idea. There's the snake bite, even going to cancel out the drone. 20 seconds left, barely any time. You can't take this back in the other direction. It's time to commit. Viper's pick goes in to slow them, but Texture, another uncharacteristic whiff. And the plant around the backside. The pit's not covering it, but the Hunter's Fury stops it. Lakia grabbing one, looking to do a bit more damage as the push comes around the back, and it's beautiful! Karon's dropped him just in time, and with the spike down, the round is done! Gen.G! Waiting for this peak to come through. He might get one, but he can't get out. And
far away. Munchkin's going to be forced off again. It's the same, but with his fallback, Boo is there to capitalize. They finally managed to isolate that man. They haven't spotted Lakia. Even still, with a two-man advantage, they now look to head in on the other side of the map. Karon again trying to delay them as much as humanly possible, but both players within the site will fall. Lakia, the last man standing, and well, no doubt going to try and hold on to the gun.
Very similar to what we saw last round in terms of the drones having super high impact. Yeah, the fact that you tag the player up top, you know he has to run, and that's when the swing comes in from backside, even waiting.
Great read on how to play that attack side. 19 and 13 right now. Munchkin again, it's the same. Initial contact, snakebite down, trying to slow them as much as humanly possible. This time, though, there is no opener. There's no success for him.
Mostly weak weapons. Guardians are on the way to help out. Guardians of the B site, see if they can hold it down. Meteor does well to find one, but that's all she wrote. Defense here by Texture, steps into the smoke, loses his sight for a moment, but now he's got his sights set on a round victory. We're tied 2 versus 2, rifles for both, and the Guardian from Texture has been sublime thus far. Spike in the open, but a smoke to retrieve it.
It's not dropped in the kindest of positions. Karon can play Overlord, fight from above, and it's left on to Boo again. 55 HP. A bullet will do the trick, and he knows that he needs to try and isolate, but that's why Gen.G are going to look to team up together, fight this one, and I thought maybe he
doesn't want to go falling. But if Boo keeps this up, takes a peek in that window, he could be in a lot of trouble. Over on the A side, already the dash in from MiniBoo, as he now looks to hold up close, but the spray is a bit whiffy. Again, Karon's able to make it work, but Texture falls on B on the rotate. An advantage now to play with for the side of Heretics. Gen.G are going to have to try to recover this in the post plans. Heretics have given up site control completely. Someone's getting pulled off the map.
Already the spams have done so much damage. Lakia gone. Meteor and Karon, an ultimate available, but probably not going to be used. They just can't beat this firing squad, and while Meteor's position has been revealed, he's going to have to clean these players up so absurdly quick, and Boo has already fallen back into a much more passive position. Doesn't want to give anything away, and even if it's going to be RieNs.
Just with a Bulldog, and it's because they want that mid-aggression early, but they don't get the fight there. Instead, it is the B site that's threatened, and Heretics have definitely picked the weaker spot. They found the gap in play. Ult used by Meteor. He's got his decoy still to work with. It's going to be set up soon, and here it comes. The big play. The spray is good. MiniBoo dropped immediately. Flash for backside. And the spray from Munchkin, good. Good job. He's got that rifle, and Meteor spearheading this push. They've got the advantage locked in. That spray has done a lot of damage to benjy's below half. Sitting inside the cage just behind it. It's faded and left him with nothing. Now a 1 versus 4.
They've used the divide
to try to spray, but he can't with the cosmic divide. Absolutely gorgeous from Gen.G. They get it across the line at the last second, 13-11. Exactly, yeah. FPX played a fantastic game. We were impressed by them, but a lot more to be desired from Heretics if they're going to make this one competitive. Opening it up, Munchkin's down to 22 and Karon's down to 0. Control for Heretics towards Rubble and mass rotations towards this C site. There's already 2 players sat in waiting. It's benjyfishy and it's RieNs, but they've been pushed back by that orb.
Texture's going to look to try and play through it. Always fearsome in these pistols. They're doubling up. They're expecting it. They're waiting for him, and that works out for them. No trades to be had. Both players have the information, but with control lost. Fighting for this one definitely has a gamble about it. It's seeming like they may end up just going for the retake here on the Heretic side, but with the weaker weaponry, that's definitely not going to be easy.
Yeah, this is Gen.G playing off the info they got in the last round. It may not have been an ideal conclusion, but in the early round, they at least felt it out in a way that gets the spike on the ground, gets their opponents on the back foot. Like you said, weaker weapons on the retake, already damage done to players like benjy. It's not going to be easy. There's still so much utility for Gen.G. They didn't expend much. Nade good for MiniBoo, though. That keeps it competitive. RieNs does well to trade out, but now the pressure's on because Meteor's hitting everything again. RieNs can't even get out of here. He's stuck in the corner. He's being watched on the way back, and it's Meteor.
Nonetheless, the only ultimate that's relatively close is Meteor. MiniBoo's already dead.
Again, we talk about that Rubble control. It was a struggle for Team Heretics. Okay, 2 HP on Lakia.
Eyesight isn't that good, but somehow he's able to see absolutely everything. Fallen back off of the nade, paranoia through, but there really isn't much support. It's taken a long time. I don't think they believe this was the real push. It means that the IGL is having to try and hold the line on his own, and it isn't going to go well. benjy, RieNs, gonna have to full retake this one. benjy actually going in a little bit early, and I think he's been spotted.
He has, and you see the ping go down for Munchkin. He knows exactly what's going on. Steps out of the way. Oh, but benjy's aware. He knows there could be a player here. It's all down to timing. Which way is he going to be looking when the swing comes through, and it's the right way. 2 versus 2. Kept competitive. Turret goes down for the info. Turret goes down indeed right after. That spike taking away. They've decided to play the long game. Reposition up to heaven. Take it together. The steps will be heard now, though, and the headshot angle from Karon. Perfect. Meteor, the man who's been finding 4Ks in so many rounds. He's only got 1 kill between him. And that lead taken out of Heretics' hands. The defuse needed all the way, and Meteors
Clear everything but the box. Paranoia set up, and in fact the lockdown put into play. Don't know if they're going to be able to challenge off this. May want to try and push more aggressively on C, see if they can spam it out, but instead it looks like they're just going to have to give this one up. The defense themselves have a lot of ultimates. Nightfall, Showstopper available, even a counter pit could be in play, and in fact they've used the Showstopper immediately, just trying to catch in case he was close on the pit. Might have been better to use the Nightfall first, but I guess the success was there anyway.
And then they've sprayed MiniBoo after the Showstopper through with an Odin, and the Viper's Pit activated at an inopportune time. RieNs pops his ult and gets shot in the head, and now it's all left onto a man.
Information gone, and Showstopper used as well.
Well, they know exactly where that Odin is, but they won't be able to root him out of position. RieNs does well to defend him, but with the door open, Boo loses his life. 4 versus 4. Boo's done a little bit of damage, tickled up some of these guys. Meteor, though, sneaking his way right through, up close. Does benjy suspect it? It looks like it. He has an idea, and he strikes just in time, just before Lakia was ready to swing and trade.
Yeah, I think also Lakia just had a little bit of hesitation holding the spike. If he's unable to get that kill, he's going to wait for his team. MiniBoo as well, this aggression. With the loss of Meteor, it means that the alarm bot was offline, so he can get at this flank. It's not expected at all. Munchkin walking backwards into the angle, but MiniBoo's looking for a little bit more. Still only going to be the 1, but with the lockdown in play, they're both going to have to be forced completely out of the site. Lakia is the only one that can really hope to try and do any damage on the way in, and the counter spam is better.
Yeah, Karon, 1 versus 3, and the spike already being diffused. Catches one on the side angle, but needs to get...
I wouldn't be surprised if they use it. In fact, no. They're going to send the Nightfall in instead. An immediate aggressive push coming out from Texture. He might not be able to hear, but he's hoping the same's on the other side. The reveal is perfect coming out from Lakia, but even still, it's only going to be the one. But with the plant in, they're going to use the lockdown. This will buy them even more time.
Gen.G have a foothold. Karon falling below, but he's been spotted. The swing in from RieNs not good for anything as Lakia lands another, and Meteor's there to back him up, recover the rifle as well, give them a fighting chance up against benjy. He failed in the 1 versus 2 last time. He was ran around the discipline of Gen.G, got it across the line, and we may just see the same again with Meteor. And MiniBoo's backing up the fight inside the door. This season absolutely perfect. And Woot, he can't get himself out of there in time. Caught trying to take a fight and at least make his lost life worth it. But Texture, well, we talked about the round where he'd be activated, and it's 3 kills already under his belt. Perhaps it could be the ace, but Meteor's waiting to try and deny that. benjyfishy facing the glowing gun. The spray is good. There we go. And Karon,
Nigh on perfect. Like it
can't be feeling too great about their chances here. Showstopper activated and fired through just for the space. It's crowd control. Door opens. MiniBoo meets a bullet to the head from Meteor, but the trade is there, keeping it alive with benjyfishy catching the aggression from Texture. Gen.G don't have any advanced control. That's why Karon goes up inside the smoke. He's got himself a nasty angle, but he is isolated.
Lakia trying to hold. Last time he attempted these spams, he got taken out. Karon may just have himself the battle here. The spacing, perfect. The Caesars caught them again. They can't move. They're all in that little back corner. And instead, just playing off angles. Karon with another, just dancing around his own utility, connecting every bullet. We haven't had to talk too much about his individual plays so far today because of the presence of other players, but when he's needed, that's exactly where he arrives. Boo, he doesn't even have the time to get anything done here. They're making it look fairly easy. Munchkin, it's almost identical to the last map. Just ready with a snake bite. Going to do some damage as they run in, but not anything too deadly just yet.
The plant secured for Team Heretics. Yeah, let's see if they can have back-to-back pistols. That injection of rounds could help them out. It's actually the only place they found success. The Masters Shanghai Finals. RieNs not able to land it to start with, and Gen.G flooding the site. 3 quick kills leave Boo and Woot locked out in main. The defuse underway, the swing good to start with, and they think that could still be being defused. Got to take the fights. Although now both players have been spotted, both players have been tagged down low as well. Gen.G on the back foot out of nowhere with Texture stepping up in the headshot for Boo. Low HP on both. It's just a few bullets. benjy's only got the ghost, so he's happy to take some risks, and honestly, looky, the Texture.
I don't think Texture was paying attention. I think he was like, okay, my teammate's got the cross. I could just have a mid-round nap.
Looking at the mini-map or something. Oh, the shot just about evaded by benjyfishy, and he's on his way to the A site, which is now mostly open. Just one player, just a classic. They've not seen him to start with, and well, looky, he only gets the one. A better weapon there, and that could have been a disaster.
Lakia, of course, is invested into utility, but it seems like he's going to wait the teammates to round that corner. Still a couple of sheriffs to play with this time. I think for the first time, the Caesar's actually going to go amiss for that defensive side, but it's already the read. The sheriff finds one, gun picked up again. Even just making this costly could be huge, but they found a guardian now. Time ticking, and 2 for 1 for Munchkin. In fact, Lakia.
Exactly. Neilzinho said they're going to punish you every time. Showstopper to try to punish back, and Texture is the one finding the kill. benjyfishy down and out of the round. The lurk no longer there. Now they look just towards the site. A little whiffy for Meteor. A chance with Munchkin though on the backside, dodging the paranoia and landing a headshot. But 10 HP is enough for Woot to stay alive, to look for some headshot angles and to still participate as smoke up. The one-way already surpassed though. Lakia has dropped down below and he's got support up top. But up goes Woot. The 10 health man still getting the damage done. They're both quite low. And a man like Texture keen to convert. The first shots don't land, but
at least in the last map where things got a little bit tight, these were the rounds that ended up getting away from them. He predicts where the team is unconfirmed. And I think now, yeah, especially after spotting the rifle on Texture, force him out of position. Meteor's going to try and play the time. Sit in this corner until the very last second, until he has time to strike. He was low, probably would have gone down anyway. But that's going to even things back up, and well, Texture had to wait.
30 seconds left.
Nade is decent. Texture was going down one way or another. Nice shot by Munchkin. Another low HP challenger steps up in the full health. now down to a sliver even without the Nightfall. A chance for Gen.G until that Viper's pit goes up. Now this is going to be very tough, but RieNs for now just on 1 HP. The swing around from Lakia trying to catch this player. The spray is good. Karon finds him. And now both players back on main, facing off against rifles. Karon getting most of his health back, and then in goes the C's. Make sure that he's not quite so healthy. The spams have to come through. And Lakia suspects that one player will push up close, but it's only to land the nano. And it is activated in time. The defuse denied a little bit longer. Now they have to force the issue and take the fight. They know exactly where Boo is. He has to hold on for survival, and a wall bang headshot. That's what pulls it across the line. Heretics were under. They just play into their waiting arms.
Okay, benjy expects Lakia to be holding the angle. Of course, he did push it just moments ago. Operator going to be juggled away so that you can have that entry taken, and the utility to force back the players is as good as it gets. Not going to be able to fight this one, but either way, probably going to wait to try and work this as a retake. Meteor is also just 1 kill away from a lockdown, so anything he can find just by spams or pre-fires could give them a way in.
Smoke off. RieNs is going to have to play through that, but, well, there might not be much left for him to do. It's being cleaned up on the site.
I was going to say it's some wall bangs, but it doesn't seem like it. As Munchkin's playing elsewhere, it's going to leave him with problems on the economy again. Okay. It happens again. Woo caught trying to teleport back. A similar scenario to what we've seen before. The spams are going to do so much, but the headshot back through the wall. It just seems like the second these rounds get into weak economy, Gen.G just find miracles.
They have a 2-man advantage. And both players, one behind a Viper wall, the other behind a real wall. Nice shot by MiniBoo. And the dodge of the rocket as well. The life traded out for a bit of damage with him on 50 HP, but he has a showstopper of his own. Gen.G still have one towards this C site. Meteor now knows there's contact close. The shot not going to land. Just with the Sheriff. Has to be precise on these peaks, and it's RieNs to shut him down. C site control now there for Heretics.
Yeah, it's patience that ends up getting that kill. An advantage given up, but with the weaponry in play, you can understand the risks. It's whether or not there's anything more to find. Lakia's been able to retrieve an Odin, but with low HP, it's not really the weapon of choice. And in fact, Showstopper going to be utilized, but it's more just to try and hold them back. The Snakebite has delayed at least a little bit more, and it gives more time for this Odin to wrap around. It's complete oversight from MiniBoo, not paying attention, not ready for the players behind. Luckily, benjy has found another. Still decent weaponry now in play. With only pistols starting off this round, there's real potential for them to turn this back. Munchkin, his gun was never spotted, but he can't quite land.
Hit used towards the C site.
They are.
Defend it. Good spam. It's doing some damage as Karon's at least able to find himself a way out with the Shrouded Step, but there's no pressure from Heretics. They're moving in the other direction. They're moving into the pit. This is a big risk.
They use the Nightfall as well. They also don't have Prowlers, so this really is a gamble to try and force this man out. Lockdown's been put into play as well. They know that they're going to have to go in this direction now. The ultimate usage is absolutely perfect, and then they even have themselves the Snakebite to slow them even further. This couldn't have been played any better by Gen.G if they tried. And now with 10 seconds left, MiniBoo is going to have to fight tooth and nail. Needs to get this plant, tries to bait in his opponent, wins the fight, but I don't think he's got it. I don't think that's going to be close enough. It's going to run out at the last second. A nice attempt by the duelist, but that round was played amazingly.
And the judge up close. This is a risky play from Munchkin, and one that will not meet a reward this time. Advantage to the attackers.
That's a huge early pick. That's already going to force issues for the rest of the team, because you have your plan with deep B control in mind. It's a risky TP. I guess didn't spot that RieNs had already crossed. A few mistakes now being made, and Heretics are going to capitalize on them. What a way to start off this round. Easy early picks. The Meteor rotating in. He's going to be the only player anywhere near. Boombot's not going to give his position away. In fact, he's going to play on the edge, just going to try and take a huge gamble, and while Boo is waiting, ready for any such play.
Tip the scales, if not back in Heretics. This is what Gen.G need. Something like this big play. The trap, though, has been escaped. Heretics just about make it out in time.
Woot's TP behind?
The rotation from Woot, yeah, he's behind, but he's expected as well. Karon's watching it. It'll be a stalemate for now, but with the players coming up mound, the crunch is on. And Karon's the one with the pressure. Showstoppers found him, and it's lit him to 4 HP, the lone defender of the C site. And with the orb down, they're not going to be decayed walking through. Karon needs to be sublime, and only the one to be found. It's worth it, trading out his low health. In goes the Nightfall. Meteor and Lakia up close, ready to swing out. The timing perfect, but then they look the other way. Woot rounds the corner and takes a kill. Double face that lands a Munchkin.
Plant that not goes their way. Yeah, both Fade players getting tagged, and there is the kill. That's the exact kill they were looking for. They're going to have a decent idea as well that Karon is going to be playing this aggressive ground. Snake bite. Not going to be forcing him off this angle. The paranoia, however, will. They're already looking to try and just execute onto him, and he'll survive longer than maybe expected. But even still, the kills have gone the way of Heretics. 2 stand in their way from an impressive comeback on a map that was heavily favored to the reigning Masters champions. Looking to try and take this to a third, but there's still a couple to deal with.
Meteor's had a lot of big rounds, and Munchkin, when he needs to, he can step up to the plate, and he certainly does need to this time. 2 players just around the corner, and he misses them by a hair. Wrapping back around, they're ready and swinging straight into him. Meteor has the info on the first and knows where the other 2 are. The swing is good. He spotted them and heard the shrouded step, heard the second 2. They've split the angle, perhaps offered Meteor a chance to isolate the fight, and he connects the shot. Lockdown now in play, and it's benjyfishy needing the clutch to keep the dream alive, and Heretics. Well, it's all about setting the pace. Double traps waiting for them as they step out into the A site. Although already they're bypassing them. Moving around the back through lamps to try to fight right onto Munchkin. The flash, the first one wasn't so good, but the second was beautiful. Now Texture left on the off angle to try to catch them. Can't punish on the player caught by the trap, but does deny the spike plant. But the nade buys a little bit more time, but it's going to be tough to capitalize through that smoke.
It's now patience for Heretics. They don't need to overextend. They don't need to take too much of a risk. They've still got plenty of time to play with, and are sort of hoping that there is more of an extension on the other side. I think they're also waiting for Boo to try and get into position. But in the meantime, look at the pop flash. It's going to be coming straight through their smoke already. A couple, but RieNs responds immediately and even adds 1 more to the pile. And Karon, he just about manages to get the kill onto MiniBoo, but there's still 2 remaining, and it's RieNs. Still got the trip setups, and they've got themselves the nade, which will go in immediately, doing a fair amount of damage, but also denying that thrash. Further push from Meteor, in fact. He's going to step up with 2. A great start to this round, but there was a response.
2 players down for Heretics. Although they got Meteor, they still have so much ground to cover. Just take a look at how many players are waiting on this A site. And the rotate through the TP won't be for free. Karon goes looking, and he certainly finds, with Boo down, the spike. A couple of flashes that are usually online, but Woot's already burned his, and RieNs, I assume, didn't get the Dizzy back. They're going to go straight through. Lakia almost caught off guard. That door opens just a second too late. Now, oh, in goes the Thrash. Second time. See what ground it can find. Nothing broken. Just in time, and Lakia, well, with that, seems to have secured the round. A fire. And it's time to make a call on where we're going. I think the TP to a B split.
They're trying to find the trip. That's the bigger issue. They want to go through, but they can't find it. They can't break it. So it's still there. And it's just being waited for contact. Finally, there is that split you were talking about, but they're heading straight into the judge. Karon up close, waiting. First is easy, and now they have to go. There's only 17 seconds left, and they're all just falling to this judge. He's gonna take them all. That's the spike down as well. If they're gonna go for this, they need to sprint to try and retrieve it. And with the Molotov down, there just is not enough time. The judge, and it pains me to say it, is going to win the round for the side of Gen.G, and even escaping from Karon. It just seems like an unnecessary risk. Already, though, okay. Woot wanted to try and take a leaf out of Talon's book and just run it straight down for those early fights. And well, hey, it's come out in their favor. Orbital Strike thought about. benjy's also taken a lot of control. Now, this is a much weaker purchase in this round for Heretics. They lost one of the guns early on, but they've come out in a good spot.
benjy's on the wrap. He's right behind him. Karon,
also look at Boo.
Barely evading that sightline. waiting for a player to come up through mid, and instead it's benjy rapping on him that gets the kill. Boo, exact same as last map. I said he was just harassing them by constantly
into the position of
to break the camp. They're hearing it activated here and there inside of A, and well, now it's only the man operating the camera that's left alive. MiniBoo pushing up is ignoring it completely. He sat on the corner waiting for the re-aggression. A smart play, misses the shot to start, but he gets there in the end. And now, well, they know they've got all the space to work with. The plant's underway. The control is most definitely...
I think the likelihood seems fairly slim, unless they're going to go full sprinting into hookah. Well, actually, never mind.
See the same thing from Gen.G, albeit not in this round. Again, 2 rifles.
You're saying?
Sure.
You're saying?
Okay, well, I'll take that one right back. There's some weapons to be retrieved. There's a showstopper in play. And Woot's gone before the rocket lands.
Oh, Lakia needs to get out. As said, a lot of the time he's a safe pair of hands. That was a way back into the round if he falls, but instead, that early aggression from Texture, you always know that at any stage this man can be a danger. And the hero rifle he had has done just that. Even the support of Karon from behind. And now they just fall back. Even using the Seekers, it's not the worst ult to expend in a moment like this, just to make sure that you haven't lost too much ground in a certain position, or maybe even wary that they're about to make the hit onto long. Instead, though, hookah is the play, and with a defensive smoke in position, I don't know if they're going to try and risk it and jump out. It seems like they are going to try and potentially make a move around it, but you can see Lakia is honed in, ready and waiting.
He has trouble, though. Never mind, Munchkin.
An immediate use of the ultimate, but Karon's going to ignore it. Just try and deny anybody else from pressuring.
They know exactly where he wants to go. Secondary location chosen. MiniBoo out of the ult and catching Karon on the fallback. Flash around the left side. Meteor's done well to keep this one competitive. His 3rd already under his belt and still challenged the 4th. And
just going to look to fight him. Get right up in his face. Go for that final shot! Control taken immediately. It's a position they have problems with. Lakia's going to remove Boo. Some of that late round utility already gone. Also, a player that has been their lurker. It might even bait the defensive players on the other side of the map. And in fact, they're actually going to try and use the pit to get out. The counter spam. It's perfect. In fact, RieNs has found 2 through the wall. It's got to be frustrating if you're on the other side. Still Meteor's here. He managed 4 in the last round. This time that would be enough, but he's going to be decayed all the way down, and that will be enough for benjy to clear him.
Could have been either player that he took down. If it was the Viper, perhaps they'd be in with a chance. Instead, well, maybe again, Karon's going to toy with the idea of the orbital strike straight through the smoke and the wall. benjy couldn't find a safe space to hide, and now they really need to be careful. Orbital strike in play. Both players trapped. Gate crash available. Used, but
Ultimate's still there, but if anything, the Viper's pit can easily be countered by that dimensional drift. In fact, it's going to be used early. Looking to just try and clear things out.
Well, he's got some space, but he's forced straight into a fight, surrounded and dropped by Karon. Meteor up close, finally manages that opening with Woot down, but Karon and Lakia fall right after. Now the pressure on for Texture, his teammate on the other side of the map, and he will quickly be dealt with. Team Heretics, it was a little bit shaky to start, but they pulled those kills right back, and now Munchkin has to do this 1v2 all alone.
Yeah, the pit not going to be useful here. Unless he wants to try and walk back into the site, but likely won't give him anything. And benjy's already rapping. He's just going for it. He didn't do it again. Now pressure on again. Munchkin. He's going to put that snake bite down to try and slow them, but it hasn't slowed them much.
Viper's pit. Oh, Munchkin corrects in time, but he still falls, as does the pit, leaving Meteor with sight on benjy. A clean kill, and the advantage now towards the defensive side. Spike recovered, and Team Heretics have to think about taking this somewhere else. And Meteor still floating around, grabbing all these kills. One safe haven for them to plant, or so they thought. The molly forces him out of the round, that is. It's only RieNs, 1 against 4. He has to do it all by himself. The whole squad bearing down upon him now. Some reading into this and assume it's a B hit. but it is most certainly not Gen.G walking straight into the A site, and only one man, the snake in the grass, the man who got a knife kill, but won't quite be able to stab them in the back this time. Texture falls as a result of the damage done, though. And we're back to equal territory.
Hey, you don't see Tiger kills too often nowadays, but even still, that's a big one. Puts things even. There's going to be a flank fight as well. That battle could be what ends up deciding it, although considering the plant, it's going to be difficult for them to get back in. Lakia already eliminating benjy, another one for Munchkin as well, and this is looking clean. Left on to MiniBoo, and he's not even going to get Sky combo. You can use your flashes for info. This is what we talked about, though. Texture being set up, Boo dodges the flash, gets the opener for himself, removing the danger man, or at least one of them. And actually, Lakia's now gone down as well. This is starting to look pretty problematic. This bonus round had a lot invested into it, maybe even leaving Munchkin with less desirable economy for the next round if they don't manage to find a little bit more here. Wanting to at least get a bit of damage done. He's fighting tooth and nail. One of his last bullets before the reload. Karon has actually found another. This comes back into a competitive position as he'll keep it in a 2 versus 2.
Such smart play. He knew he was being baited by the player further back and just kept falling back, retreating and taking the fight. Guerrilla warfare, and it's worked out. Gen.G with another on Meteor, and now RieNs has to do it all. This round was looking so heavily favored, and instead, they are massively on the back foot with the defuse underway, though. Here comes the swing, a necessary one.
Being used just to remove any doubt. benjy's aggression is punished, but there, again, is an immediate trade. Thrash is available if RieNs wants to use it, but finding a safe spot is going to be more important, and it might even be worth just holding onto it for the retake.
Exactly where you are.
Information will be found, and with the orbital strike, they could look to try and lock off some of these spots. Instead, he's going to be caught in it, but he goes swinging instead. Texture deals with him, and the second as well. No trade to be had. The nade will deny any repeat, and an afterplant guaranteed.
Does a lot of damage too. Wood's down to 70 at this point. What a phenomenal read by Texture. He knows exactly where that second player is going to swing in from and corrects to it before he even gets to the angle. Absolutely unbelievable gameplay. And for Heretics, now they're...
Everybody else goes down.
For Gen.G, and instead, they're close to being on equal footing with this squad. Texture's nade, it's going to cause some problems. Woot will be tagged a little bit, I believe, in that corner. Lakia's been dropped in the meantime, though. That's the one rifle that Team Heretics have. Now spotted, shown to be towards this position. They deal with him. They might not even need to. They can just go for the plant.
Counter utility almost baiting them into a fight. They're going to go swinging. Woot's found that kill as well. Another 3v5 attempt. As they've lost the early blood, flash out, another one. In fact, they're looking to try and fight this. benjy's now found another. This is all falling apart for Gen.G. In fact, they're not getting anything. It's left all onto Munchkin. Now their own economy is on the brink. Woot is about to get aggressive, looking for a fight. He's going to find one. The trade will be there, though, but there's a second player for Heretics as well.
And that Spike sat alone now outside of A. Meteor finds a bit of ground, but only the one to be landed before RieNs is able to trade back. He's been locking down control of B long. There's next to nothing that anybody can do to seize back a position there. And oh, just a split second away from seeing that player. Texture knows there's someone close by. And a TP from MiniBoo! Cerebral play! He snuck the gate crash
They're going
past.
to hit themselves towards
Back. No need to look backwards. Instead, they focus right in front. Texture already in, but he's been let past by Boo. Only finds the one as a result. Luckily, they were still clearing those angles. The deep showstopper not landing. The Viper's Pit is covering off all of this control. There will be a small gap where the spike is planted.
The Seekers online. A kill for benjy. Would also get a counter pit. It seems like they're going to try and force them into awkward battles. Texture has done so much. Woot is tagged for just 3 HP. The players out of hookah are desperately trying to just fish out where that Viper is going to be hiding from. And the flashes have done well. benjy gets one. Texture now dropped as well. This is starting to fall apart a little bit, but they still haven't dealt with the pit. Still looking for where that last man standing. Karon holding his ground as he'll come out with a third. But that spike is already being diffused. They have to get towards it.
Standing in their way, stopping that plant on this side. He's seen
Nowhere to
4
go.
players already. He's naded up. There's no way out. He has to fight forward, and Meteor meets him halfway. comes crashing into the site.
That ground is completely given up.
Taken for free. Gen.G have got backside A control, they've got site control, they've got everything. And Meteor, I saw expect him to get a kill or two there, and he got both. Of course he did, even blinded
It's
up.
a save. It's already a save. I can't imagine that the players on the other side are going to be going for this. It's going to be so difficult to find a way back in. I guess they've got some extra credits to play with. That's why they're going to try and run into what is Texture. And while he wanted to try and get all three, instead he gets the one, but does a lot of damage. The remaining players have no choice but to try and leave this position. But again, it's meteoric heroics that end up closing out this round. There was... again, you look at what was being done by Heretics, I don't mind it. They needed to clear that backline, they needed to find that guy. The flash was perfect, just like the shots from Boo. And of course, with the saves that we've seen from the side of Heretics, there's so much economy for the attack. They want to try and get rid of the gun. They go on a run, I think they might. MiniBoo waiting, but it's only going to be the one. And they know that winding the delays, if they just dodged that off their own orb, that's what it looked like, but it doesn't matter. benjy gets the kill anyway.
It's a nice frag, and we've seen the B site under pressure with just one man holding it. They were overwhelmed. This time, no. There's a lot of gaps in the side of Gen.G, and even more so now with Munchkin down. No way through, you'd imagine. The Meteor manages to find himself one. The site taken over by benjy, stood underneath. 3 kills already to his name, and there's backup on the way.
Okay.
It's so important to get that win on the board. Now look at this. We've seen the judge in this position before do damage, and RieNs, well, he's not slowing down on those stats. A double kill. Players dropped, and indeed, Thrash kept for later on.
Oh, Meteor's taking a risk. Has to get this kill, otherwise it might just be GG. A 2 versus 5 needed to stop Heretics. And it's RieNs who's in position. He wants a little bit of revenge. Gets one blind, and Munchkin is not long for this world. 18 HP, that's not the gun he's looking for. But even still, this looks like a bridge too far, an impossibility. And for Heretics, a team that struggled towards the end of EMEA, played versus FPX and were almost defeated, maybe even should have been. They're coming up against the inarguable best team in the world right now.
30 seconds left.
And unless in 30 seconds 4 kills are going to Munchkin, they've taken them down.
It looks to be just a formality at this point. An impressive comeback in the series, in the map, and benjyfishy to close.